It's high time that the UK government needs to put some respect on immigrants. Politicians now know that to talk against immigrants so that the people can like them. Can you actually sincerely run this country without immigrants? There is no country in the world that is worth you going illegally. Yeah, you get your citizen in 20 years, but you are a 52-year-old man and your body is 75. This conversation would meet, opposition, especially from some cowards, Nigerians, especially slave mentality, because some of them are, hey, I'm fine, I'm doing well. How it works. Everybody move around. That is the way the world works now. Less than 1% of the 1% that they are using to gather everyone. All of us are not in that category. I think it's high time that the UK government also needs to put some respect on immigrants too. I'm sure if you live in the UK, you've seen this message about government trying to put measures in place against immigration, and they highlighted some countries, Nigerians being one of them. And you see, I understand, I appreciate the idea that they don't want illegal immigrants in their country because it doesn't even make sense. I tell people that there is no country in the world today that is worth you going illegally. Like not the US, not Canada, not America, not nowhere. Because you see, what they don't tell you is that yes, you are going to be able to come after 20 years and go and wave some passport and think that you have made it in life, but you have exchanged your life. In my own opinion, what exactly is the quality of the passport that you have to go into a country and you are working next to a slave? Like sometimes the arrangements would be better for you to go into slavery than those arrangements that you get in those countries. The people that are selling you the idea of going to a country with a visiting visa and running away will not tell you what you are going to go through. And I understand that, if you are from Africa, the idea they will tell you is that, oh, it's better than you staying in Nigeria, it's better than you doing this. Then they will paint you a picture of, you come and do something. And I've seen it, people have even been bold now to come on social media and say how they, they rupali, they carry this, they did that, they did all of that. 20 years, then they come and say, oh, I collect my paper. I personally think it's not worth it. And this is my opinion, because come to think of it, what exactly is the quality of life that you live abroad that even when your parents are sick, you cannot go home? Your siblings are doing something, you cannot go home. You are more or less in a place and locked down for some years, long years, running away from law enforcement, running away from people who know that, oh, this is how you come into this country, and they will use you accordingly. In fact, I believe that the system even wants you there so that they can use you for some dirty jobs. That's my personal belief. So I don't think anyone, should go out into any country in any world as an illegal immigrant, just to we want to go into the country. And please, let's be clear. I understand that some people, war is chasing them, so they are running away from deaths, sometimes caused by the country they are running into anyways. But that's not the topic for today. But if that is not the case, if you would have to pay your plane ticket yourself, you would go into this country in the disguise of you want to go and do visitation and you run away. It is not worth it. They will not give you the reward. The people in these countries that are legally, admitted into this country are going through it. Now, come to think of it, what do you think will happen to you if you enter this country illegally? Like I said, what they used to, sell it to most people is the idea that you are going to become a citizen. What is the quality of the citizen that you are going to become? And your life will be worse off. Like, yeah, you get your citizen in 20 years, but you are a 52-year-old man and your body is 75 because you have used the best part of your life, to serve and in exchange for this so-called passport. So I do admit that it is not worth it. And of course, every country has a right to stop illegal immigrants from entering their countries. However, that being said, I also think that the UK should, be fair when they make this, communications, because there's this idea of every politician now know that what they want to say is to talk against immigrants so that the people can like them. It doesn't make any sense. See, last year in the United Kingdom, I think before the elections, this issue of immigrants was said, this was said, that was said, so much that the locals begin to attack immigrants. I, for one, I'm a victim of that. That they begin to attack you in the street, they begin to abuse you. Rallies were going on against immigrants who are contributing major to this economy. As a legal immigrant in the UK, and I run business in the UK. I pay my tax on the job that I do, and of course, my business does its own contribution also. You see, these politicians are not saying these things when they make these conversations, and the locals who very rarely go for, clarification or information, they see everyone with the same eyes. Immigrants in this country pay sometimes up to 40, more than 40% in tax, because they are the doctors, they are the nurses, they are the professionals, they are the IT guys, and they are doing these things in good numbers. In fact, if the UK, politicians have been sincere, can you actually sincerely run this country without immigrants? Like say, oh, legal, everybody out, and in 24 hours, what exactly will happen? See, this conversation, and I'm aware that, would meet, opposition, especially from some cowards, Nigerians, especially, who have this, slave mentality, because, some of them are, "Hey, I'm fine, I'm doing well. Every other person can go to clinic, every other person is bad, every other person is clinic." I understand that you are going to probably see them in the comment section, doing what they know how to do best. Or the cowards who will say, "Oh, don't talk. If you talk, your life is going to end. This is going to happen to you. That's going to happen to you." But that is not the message. The message really for me is that we need to begin to demand these things, because I know for sure that our contribution is big. Personally, all of my friends that I know that are in this country, in the United Kingdom, are legal immigrants. And of course, all of their friends that know their friends are legal immigrants. In fact, we've had to discuss of how much we have to spend to come into this country, how much we have to spend to maintain our stay in this country, because as an immigrant in this country, we have to pay for our health care. We have to pay, even though you might not be able to access these things, and we have to pay heavy for it. In fact, I dare say that the money that immigrants pay for health care in this country, no local can pay it. They will not pay it because they think it's ridiculous. I've spoken to quite a number of them, and they believe that it is ridiculous that they will pay that much to access healthcare. But we pay this money. Then, of course, we go into our jobs, we pay our taxes, and we contribute major. I don't know any major, industry or sector in the United Kingdom that the immigrants are not working quite well. Yes, please do well to address the issue of the illegal immigrants. But when we make these contributions, when we say these talks, especially for the United Kingdom, politicians, can we begin to put some level of respect? Because you see, the world has moved beyond the days of trying to hate on people because of their skin color. And the fact that people are here doesn't mean that you are necessarily doing them any good. Because I know that some Nigerians say, "Oh, why not go back to your country? Go back to your country." This is 2025. People move. There is nowhere in the world where you don't have other members from other countries in that country. They are British in Nigeria. They are British in Australia. They are British in Dubai. As much as they are Nigerian in England, they are Nigerians in India. Indians are also in America. America are in Australia. Americans are in the UK. That is how it works. Everybody move around. That is the way the world works now. For education, for career development. People just move around. You are in our country as much as we are in your country. And I think that conversations we need to have it, and so that some respect can begin to come. Because I understand that there's this idea that every time you talk about immigrant, you just want to talk about as if we are a problem, as if we are not contributing anything. In fact, some locals, very poorly think that immigrants have access to the public funds. No, the only access that immigrants have to public funds in the United Kingdom is to contribute to it. I know they have told you that immigrants, they take this, they take that. No, it's probably less than 1% of the 1% that they are using to gather everyone. All of us are not in that category. And it's better that politicians begin to make this clarification. I understand that this is a popular point now. Like the last election in Germany, that was the top of the conversation. Immigration. In the UK, it was the top of the conversation. When they had the election in Canada, that was it. In America, immigration is the top of the conversation, because politicians know that if you can tell the people, they don't like the immigrants, and let's tell them that the immigrants are the problem, immigrants are this, so that we can then get votes from them. Immigrants are not necessarily the problem. And of course, like I said in the beginning, please do not go into any country illegally. It is not worth it. It is not heaven. I know they told you it's heaven, but it is a lie. It's a mirage. When you get there, you will discover that it's not heaven. But also, let the politicians of this country, when they make these conversations, begin to put the respect in these conversations also. Immigrants are contributing well, contributing major into these countries, and there are so many. For every one illegal immigrant that this country try to, exaggerate, there is almost 10,000 legal immigrants for that one that they want to use to then represent that 10,000 legal immigrants. The conversations are not balanced, in my own personal opinion. And of course, for the house slave that will come and try to say, hey, you go back to your country, this is not your conversation, but of course, it's your point. You can put it in the comment section. I just thought that I should have my opinion on this one because it's becoming one too many. And I think it's high time that some of us begin to use our whisper to demand better